Okay, we have 2 more weeks left and we have a lot of difficult issues to address. The most difficult one will be the budget and prioritizing our funding. I said on the campaign what my funding priorities were. Believe it or not, they're still the same. We're going to continue to see what our revenue estimates look like and what the negotiations, or what happens with all the negotiations in the appropriations committee. We've talked about hemp a lot. I know that's an issue that I hope we can see pass. Be sure to please contact me if there's any issues that are still alive that have not either passed or been killed that you care about. I know I've been getting a lot of emails on the nursing home issue. That's been the last 2 or 3 days. Those have really started to pile up. So I'm trying to, if you've emailed me, I haven't responded in the last 2 days on those, I don't think, but I will get back to you. And I'll try to get back to you hopefully today or tomorrow. So my email is drew.denner@sdlegislature.gov. That's the best way to contact me during session. So I do appreciate all the very thoughtful questions that came up, and for everyone being here. I'm not in Pierre for myself, I'm here for you. As Carl Perry says, I represent you. Well, I do too. So we're just going to continue on to try to represent the people of Brown County the best we can. So please contact us with any questions or concerns.
Go ahead, Carl.
Well, thank you all for coming today, and thank you for giving us this opportunity, and thank you especially for the Aberdeen Area Chamber of Commerce and their efforts to produce these events. These Cracker Barrels, I think, are very important, and I'm glad that they've been doing it for a lot of years. There's a lot of things to consider. This is the miniature broke down version of the budget. I have one in my desk that's about this thick, and it's got a little bit about everything that you could possibly want to know about budgets. That's got everything I don't want to know too. So, and I've become a person that learned about the Emerald Ash borer, and so if you have a question on that, I have a brochure for you. And then this was something that was kind of cool that came up. The essentials of truck platooning. You know, we pass stuff through once in a while and you sit there and you go, what is truck platooning? And it's a new modern version of putting trucks together to increase fuel efficiency and everything like that. And I asked about safety. I asked about what about bad weather, inclement weather, and all those kind of things. And they have convinced many of us that truck platooning is a good idea. So if you are somebody that is into trucking and you'd like to know more about that, again, I have a brochure I would be willing to give you. The 3 things that I said were really important to me earlier on was the nursing homes. I said with nursing homes that I want to make a difference for people. Vaping was not my issue, it was the issue of the people. There are people out there that are saying this is a serious problem, so I got involved in it, and we have made a step. Is this the final step, or is this the greatest step, or is this the biggest step? I'm going to answer all those things, no. But is this a good step? It is. And then I would just like to be able to help you in any way I can. I do get a lot of emails. I don't answer every single email. I kind of answer many emails, and we hope that you'll continue to communicate with us. We're all on the legislative website. Mine is carl.perry@sdlegislature.gov, and everybody else is with their name, a dot in the middle, and their last name. And thank you very much for coming today. And again, if you need anything at all, please contact us. We're all available.
Thank you for this opportunity. I think I'll go back to the Partridge Amendment just a little bit, and the question about food tax. You know, keeping a promise is a good thing, but in this case, it's a misleading premise for the Partridge Amendment to be portrayed as keeping a wide promise that was made to all the citizens of South Dakota. The Partridge Amendment was never heard in committee. It gave a couple of legislators legislators who had run on no new taxes and were faced with the reality of having to address education funding. Personally, I will go further and say I think it's irresponsible to talk about cutting taxes when we're closing nursing homes. We can't have it both ways. No new taxes is a marvelous campaign pledge, but neither that nor the position of Americans for Prosperity, the group that is the Koch brothers funded group, and comes to Pierre with a familiar face and says, keep your promise. They are not recognizing South Dakota's 50th position in funding in so many areas. All they want to talk about is cutting taxes. They don't want to talk about meeting the needs of basic education and healthcare services in our state, and they don't want to talk about our relative position. They don't want to recognize where we stand in relation to the rest of the country. And that's what really gets my goat. I think it's pretty important to tell voters the truth. And the truth is that internet revenue is not new revenue. It's a necessary updating of our sales tax base to react to the changing retail patterns. And it's basic fairness. So House Bill 1265, I am very much opposed to. It is an unrealistic definition of new revenue, and it does not recognize the many unmet needs that if you're against, if you feel like talking about cutting taxes, you're going to talk about growing government and how bad that is. If you're serious about providing basic services to our communities, you're going to talk about where are we in funding K-12 and university education, and do we care about funding our nursing homes and keeping our elderly in their home communities, or don't we? And on and on and on. So, yes, I'm looking forward to the last 2 weeks because I need to get home and start doing tax returns. Thanks.
I want to thank everybody for coming, but one of the thoughts as I was sitting down here was, what is the best bill that died this year? Okay. And what's the biggest regret? And that's Senator Wismer's bill 148. And Senator Wismer's a Democrat, and I'm a Republican, and we're both passionate about the truth. And that's why we formed an alliance on this particular bill. What the bill says is, I was included on the debate, and part of the debate went like, but basically what the bill said is, can state employees talk to legislators? You think, well, that's a no-brainer. The answer is, state employees in South Dakota, in some departments, are being threatened. I'll call up a state employee and say, can we just go have a cup of coffee? Oh, I can't do that. How come? I'll get fired. Okay, I get that. So that's a bad idea. Why do you want to have a cup of coffee? I want to find out how things are going. Anyway, so that's the bill. And what basically it said was, the departments, state government came to us and said, we have a need to have employees not talk to you. So, okay, tell me why. For example, I'll just pick on game, fish, and parks since there's they're picked on a lot. They say we've got to have a message that's unified and accurate. And so when we tell you something about deer licenses, we can't have opinions all over the board. We got to have one accurate opinion. And I said, well, that makes sense. I get that. I own a company, and we don't let everybody that works at my company go to the newspaper and say, this is what my company believes in. I get to do that. We want a unified, accurate press release. So there's one side of the issue says we need to be accurate. The other side says Senator Northrup would like to talk to you about how things are going so we can pass a bill that maybe solves the problem. So those are the two debates as to, do you want to respect the department's need to have a unified message, or do you want to respect the state employee's ability to give me information that I need to do my job? And so between Senator Wismer and myself, we put an amendment on the bill. And the amendment helped. And what it did was it said, during the business day, when you're at work, you got to do the company line. So if you have an employee at Northern, During the business day, they got to read right off the press release. And Justin, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm over.
Would that be an okay thing, Justin, if they read right off the press release during the business day and not deviate too much?
I'd love Pet one to do that, yeah.
Thank you. But, once you're off the clock, you can tell the truth. So, they didn't like the way I phrased that, but that's what the bill did. It was awesome. Disappointed that it died. One other thing I don't know if you can tell, but I'm having fun. I enjoy being in the legislature. I enjoy everything about it, but other than getting stuck in Pier, other than having to habitat in Pier for the last 2 weeks and not getting home for the weekend. But I got an email the other day, and it was really nasty. Really attacked me viciously on a particular vote. I don't remember what the vote was, but they were pretty much going after me. And so one of my responses, I don't have the exact words, but basically I said to them, okay, I understand your passion on this. I understand that you're disappointed in the way I voted, but I voted 17,000 times. How did I do on the other 16,999? And I said, in brackets, I said, I really thrive on kind words. And I sent it off, and I haven't heard a word back from them. I was hoping I'd get a compliment or something, but on that particular day and at that particular moment, I could use some kind words, and I never got them. But I was fishing for them. I was trying to get some kind words if I could possibly get them. Thank you for all you do.
Well, with the last name of Weiss, I'm used to being last, so this is more I'm used to being. I'm beginning to wonder, we keep getting these pink things floating down. Drew, are you trying to tell us something? All right, not yet, okay. Anyway. Oh, well, Drew had the wonderful opportunity, and I can't believe I'm the one saying this up here. Well, you want to come up? All right, you better do that.
Do I have to ask for a personal privilege? So the wonderful lady who is right here, who is my wife, we are expecting a baby to be born September 4th this year, but we don't know if it's pink or blue yet. So I'm not trying to send any messages quite yet, but maybe eventually. Yeah, they're all.
Well, Carl did say something, a message from heaven or something, so we'll see. Thank you guys all for coming. I really appreciate hearing feedback. It's my, like I said, freshman legislator, my first time up there. I've learned a lot. It's been a great experience. You know, things don't always fall the way you think they should, but as we've heard many times over, that's why there's 105 of us up there, is that we want to represent the people that we serve and be able to hash through and really get to the bottom of issues and find the best ideas to get the things fixed or moving that we need to. It's been a great group of guys I work with there, able to talk and discuss and debate, you know, and that's really kind of the heart of it, is sometimes we really have to hash out the hard issues and talk things through and debate before we make a decision. And sometimes all people get to see is the decision we made and not all the debate, all the why we made those decisions. So I encourage you, sdlegislators.gov, the LRC's website. If there's a bill comes up and you go, wow, why did these guys vote that way? You can go in, you can hit bills, punch in that bill number, it'll drop down, and there's little, what are they, eagles or doves or something all the way down, and you can listen to all the testimony that was done on that bill. And you can start to get an idea of what was in that bill, why, who was for it, who was against it. I tell you what, I go home every night after session and after all the responsibilities I have, and I fall asleep on the couch in my room listening to testimony for the next day. Because I want to know, because I don't get to go to every committee. I'm in 2 committees. I'm in Commerce and Energy and Transportation. So I know what went in those committees, but I want to know what the senators had to say about it when it's a Senate bill coming over to me. I want to know what the people in that committee who heard it, why they voted the way they chose to vote. So that when I hit the floor, I can make the most informed decision I can. I also want to hear from you people, what you guys think of these bills. Because like I said, I want to represent the people who have sent me to peer. And so I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want to know what you like or don't like about the bill, so I can make the best informed decision I can. And with that, you know, a lot of these guys have mentioned South Dakota, or our email addresses, so feel free to email me. And I'll go ahead and throw out one more way to contact me. It's 605-290-6764. You know, between, at about 1 o'clock and And usually about 4 to 5, pretty hard to get a hold of me. I'm usually either in caucus or on the floor, and I'm not gonna answer my phone. But, well, and 10 o'clock and 10 to about 11, I'm in committee. I'm not gonna answer then either. But otherwise, call me. If I miss it, I'll try to call you back, because I do wanna hear what you guys have to say. So with that, once again, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate this. We got 2 more weeks, and we'll see what we can get done. Thank you.